the time, and if you look at the Mayan calendars and a lot of the prophecies from the Hopi and many other native peoples, they talk about this is the time coming, the next 15, 20 years that we've waited for a very, very long time, where exposing of untruths are happening. That exposing things are being uncovered, anything that isn't in alignment with universal law.
Dropping over me, I got enough guilt to start my own religion. One way, or crucify ourselves every day. You crazy my mind out, and nothing I do is good enough for you. You crazy my mind out.
And when I read about woman's evilness and how her body is a shrine of sin, and that man has been damned from the beginning, and the only salvation is through the Madonna. So they were damned by a woman, Eve, and their salvation is through a woman, the Virgin Mary, because she hasn't unpurified herself and made herself evil through procreation. Well, so the only way that a man can be saved is through a woman that is sexless. So basically, if a woman cuts off her passion, her sexuality, just basically mutilates that part of her being, then she is spiritual. So you can only be spiritual as a woman if you've completely cut out your passion and your physicality. In the beginning, it was man's way to control, but in the end, when he's dealing with a woman that is divided within her own being because of her guilt, she wants to be spiritual, and yet it's been passed down. Even if you haven't been to church or you haven't had that upbringing, it's in your DNA. It's there that lust and love are two separate things. The Magdalene and the Virgin Mary are divided. Well, there are documents to say that Mary, Mother Mary, was actually part of the Isis, the priestesses of Isis, and that Mary Magdalene was next in line. So there was not a division of the two. And of course, Mary, the mother, had children after Jesus. She did do it. Nobody wants to talk about that.
My father would go, Myra Ellen, enough. And I'd be like, Dad, fucking loosen up. This guy is like Jesus. Don't you get it? He didn't get it. I don't think people got it, that it was like, hang on a minute. The whole message was, it's in here. It ain't out there somewhere. Get off the cross, folks. We need the wood. Hello? So, anyway, I would sit in my room, and I was a little kid. I didn't reach puberty till last year. So it's been very difficult for me, guys. I mean, I'm 19 and they're going, where's your mother? And I always had hang on a second, I think I'm a girl. I mean, I'm going to check. But the one good thing about being a piano player, folks, is you have a very good left hand. And the nice thing about it is you can pretend it's anybody you want.
Everything that's happened in the last 100 years has been pushing towards, women claiming their power, their respect, and then keeping the femininity out of it. Finally getting to be able to, in the 70s, compete with men in a man's world, but more taking on a man's role. Instead of, hang on a minute, our true power is in our vulnerability. That is great strength, because to be able to say, well, actually, I'm opening this, I'm opening this, I'm opening this, my emotional, my mental, my spirit, and I'm opening this, my physical. And this is the complete aspect of being for man and woman. However, it's been so shamed. We've been so shamed as women to have these four bodies connected. And we've been taught that it isn't possible. There are two references to a woman touching herself in Anastasia and in Icicle. And there's the God reference with the masturbating reference.
Father says bow your head like the good book says. I think the good book is missing some peaches. Gonna lay down. Gonna lay when my hand touches myself, I can finally rest my head. And when they say take of his body, I think I'll take from mine instead.
They've created a savior in all organized religion, and the savior is not within. The savior is without. So whether it's Jesus or Muhammad or Buddha or whatever, the savior is not internal. And I'm saying, save yourselves, people. I don't need a savior. If I want to see Jesus, I'd love to go to a Nirvana concert somewhere on some plane with Jesus. But that's about it, because I'm saving myself. We all have those abilities and those tools. That's what Jesus was saying initially, but it was manipulated and manipulated. And what was Mary Magdalene saying? That's the true message. The true message for women was, claim all parts of the being. We are one. We are equal. It's about the balance of male and female within each being.
Smell the roses past the mission behind